Ashlyn. How are you today?
Hi, Miss Marley. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Have you done anything fun the last couple of weeks here?
Um,
Nothing on the weekend? Nothing going on?
no, not really. We've just been chilling out.
Do you have anything coming up?
Yeah. I think this weekend I'm going to Bakersfield with my soccer team.
What's that for? A tournament?
It's for All Stars, or not All Stars. Just like for playoffs.
Playoffs from the season?
Yeah.
So your team did really well?
Yeah.
Wow, is that exciting?
Yeah. I'm really excited.
You are? Very good. So what's going on this week? Anything that you're struggling with? Anything you want to talk about?
Math's been kind of hard lately.
Math?
Yeah.
Not your favorite subject?
No.
Why do you find it hard?
It's just kind of hard for me to understand.
What's your favorite subject?
Maybe careers or physical education.
PE? What do you do in PE that you like? Why do you like PE so much?
I like my teacher.
You do?
My teacher a lot, yeah.
Okay, so you're struggling in math. Has it always been a struggle or just recently?
Kind of always.
Do you like math?
Well, I like my teacher, but I'm not a big math person.
Your teacher's nice? Is she a good teacher?
Yeah.
So, do you have any tests or anything coming up?
I don't think for a while, no.
No. Quizzes?
We just had one.
You just had a quiz. How did you do?
I got a C+. I didn't do very well.
C plus isn't bad. That's not bad. Is that the worst that you've done on a test in math?
No, I've gotten worse.
You have? What's the
Yeah.
worst grade you've gotten in a math test?
F.
You did?
Yeah.
Why do you think you got an F on that test?
Maybe because I just didn't study hard enough or just didn't focus.
Did you understand the work?
Well, yeah, it was pretty hard, but I got it.
Yeah. So when you got the test back, did you feel like the mistakes you knew what you made mistakes, or did you not know the mistakes you made? Did you look at it and say, why did I get that wrong? I don't understand.
Well, on some of them it was like that, but some of them it wasn't.
So what do you think the main problem was on that test?
I think I just need to double check my math and stuff, like double check that I did the correct numbers and stuff like that.
So you think maybe you weren't checking your work, and so that caused some mistakes to stay that probably wouldn't have been there if you had checked your work? Okay. What's the best grade you've gotten on a math test this year?
I think it was an A-.
Wow, that's really good. What was different about that test?
I think I just really took my time and I just focused hard and I relaxed.
Was the material different than the other test?
Yeah, it was a lot easier though.
It was a lot easier?
Yeah.
Was it something that you understood better, or was it something that you actually listened better in class and so you understood the material better?
No, it was just easier.
It was an easier part of math?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's look at let me pull up on the computer your math scores for this term and see what we have going on, okay? Let's see what if you're correct on what you're talking about here. Let's see. Your tests and quizzes, you're right. You got a 90 on one of your tests. That was really, really good. Did that make you feel really good? Yeah. And then you got a 59. Is that the one you're talking about? On one test. And then the last quiz, you got an 86, so that's not bad. Oh, no, that wasn't the last one. The last one was a 78. And that was just a couple days ago. So let's talk about that one. So the 78, have you gotten that back yet?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you guys go over your quizzes?
You guys look at it a little in class, and I looked over it a little bit. And for a couple of the questions, I didn't really understand them.
Okay.
So I asked her about it. And I kind of don't understand it still.
You don't understand it still?
I don't understand why. I don't understand how I got it wrong.
So what do you think you should do about that?
I asked her about it and I looked in the book a little bit. I couldn't figure it out.
Did you ask her about it during class?
During class. No, after class during lunch, I think it was.
You went up to her and asked her?
Yeah.
And she went over it with you and you still don't understand it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell her you still don't understand it?
Well, I just did it like for like a couple seconds, and then I just like.
So you think you maybe got it, but
And then I
then
forgot it.
you forgot it.
Yeah.
And then so that's your quiz that you just had. So do you think that information is going to go on a test now, later on? Like, does she do certain quizzes and then do a test at the end with everything on it?
No, she just does quizzes.
Oh, okay. But I see she has tests here.
Oh.
She does tests. So the tests aren't based on all the quizzes?
No.
Okay, so are you thinking you probably won't see that material again, so you're not going to worry about it?
Yeah.
Do you think that's smart?
No.
Do you think that possibly that material will build on something else and you might need to go back and know how to do that?
Probably.
So we should probably figure out a way for you to be able to go back and learn what you forgot or what you didn't understand, right? Okay, so we'll work on that goal. Now looking at this, it looks like the biggest problem you have is your homework. Yeah? It looks like she does different sections of homework and then she corrects it all at one time. Like maybe like in a week or 2 weeks she corrects it all at one time and gives you a score.
Every quiz she corrects it and she just brings it all up.
Okay, so you've got a 64%, a 75%, a 62%, a 100%, and a 58%. So what happened with that 100? How did you get 100% and everything else is really, really low?
I think because on a couple of homeworks, I just don't do it the way she wants it to be done.
Okay.
Like I forgot to write the questions down. She counts it as incomplete.
Okay.
Or I don't do like all the work I'm supposed to be doing, and so she counts it as incomplete. And sometimes I just forget to like I need to go back and do it, and instead of turning it in because it's a point for per homework. Instead of getting it in, getting half a point, I just don't turn it in at all.
So you don't go back and return in after you make your corrections?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one problem. Do you think it would be better to do the homework correctly the first time so you don't have to remember to go back? Or do you think going back is okay and it's...
I think it'd be better if you do it the first time.
If you do it the first time? Okay, so we need to figure out a process, right? So a goal process for you to be able to get your homework done. Let's write this down. Homework done correctly the first time, right? That's what you're saying we want to do. Correctly the first time. Okay, so let's talk about what you do when you get home. You come home from school. What's the first thing you do? Are your parents home?
No, my parents just go to work.
Okay, so this is all on you, right?
My brother's sometimes home.
Your brother's
just
sometimes?
stay on the couch watching TV like a couch potato.
Oh, so he's not a very good example, is he?
No.
Okay, so you're going to have to remember how to do this stuff on your own, right? Because your brother...
My mom suggested that I
doesn't.
set a timer for myself, like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, so, a timer.
Like enough time for me to get a snack and watch a little TV and then go up and start
Okay.
my homework.
When did this suggestion come about?
I think it was last night, maybe?
Oh, so it's brand new. So we
Yeah.
haven't even tried it yet.
No.
Okay, so we're going to do a timer. Now this timer, tell me about the timer. Tell me more about that.
So, right when I get home, like maybe in the car on the way home or something, I start a timer for 10 minutes and I start like right when I'm walking to the house.
Okay.
And it gives me just like gives me enough time to put my backpack down and grab a snack, play with my puppy, and just watch a little TV and chill out. And then after the timer's up, I go upstairs and start my homework.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that it's supposed to keep you on track so you don't just watch TV
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden lose
continuously.
track of time and mom and dad come home and you've done nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the timer is like a break timer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a break timer, let's say 10-15 minutes, right? Okay,
15 minutes sound good.
15 minutes sounds good. Well, you can play with that a little bit and see. 15 sounds reasonable. I mean, you gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta get a snack, you have to relax a little bit. You said you have a new puppy.
Yeah.
That's probably distracting.
Yeah, she whines a lot. She's
Does she?
really needy.
How old is she?
She's about 6 months old.
Oh, very cute. Okay. So, timer sounds like a great tool.
Yeah.
Because what time have you been doing your homework in the past?
Well, sometimes when I have like a bunch of homework, and I know that like it's like very like never happens, but and I know I have something like to do like the next day or something.
Okay.
I like go home and push through it kind of.
Okay.
Sometimes I get distracted by my phone sometimes, and just need to like.
A lot of people get distracted by their phones, huh?
Yeah.
Well, are you distracted talking to friends on your phone?
Yeah.
So you know all those friends, what are they not doing?
Homework.
Okay, so maybe part of this timer could be 10 to 15 minutes where you also talk on your phone. Where do you keep your phone?
Upstairs in my room, just in case my mom needs to contact me or something's wrong.
That's true. It's kind of hard to leave your phone out of the room if you're home by yourself. Okay, so we'll have to deal with that later about how to figure out with your phone and all that stuff. Okay, so we got your 10 to 15 minute break where you get a snack, right? Play with puppy. Maybe you watch a few minutes of TV, right? Okay, and then we're going to go upstairs to start our homework. And you said, did you tell me when you normally do your homework? You said sometimes you push through it right when you get home if you have a lot.
Yeah, and then.
But what's normal? What's your normal day look like?
Normally, I start right about when my mom gets home, or sometimes a little after, because I do a lot of sports.
Okay.
And then basketball season starting, and soccer and karate.
Okay.
So
that's a lot.
Yeah, on Fridays I usually get through my homework on Sunday, like my math homework. Like if it's a A day or a B day.
Okay.
I do my homework on Saturday or Sunday. Okay. And then so it's due the next day. But most of the time I come home, I start doing it at 4 around, and you get home at like 2, maybe 3 o'clock.
Okay. What your practices are probably all different times, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not waiting until like 7 after dinner to do your homework?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it depends.
So there's no consistency. There's no time you actually do your homework.
No.
Okay, so maybe that's a problem. Maybe you need to come up with
all at different times, and sometimes I go, sometimes I don't go to the sports.
Okay. Are all your sports after your parents get home?
Most of them, yeah.
Okay.
A couple of them are right when my mom gets home.
Okay. So you pretty much don't have a lot of time to start on your homework, but you could probably do maybe a little bit of it right when you get home.
Yeah, and on B days I can start it in class.
Okay. So how is your homework in your other classes going?
I'd say in science we don't really have a lot of homework.
Okay.
She doesn't give out a lot of homework because we have a lot of class time to do it.
Okay.
In English we haven't been getting a lot lately, but we just started a new book that the whole class is reading.
Okay.
So a whole new folder, which is it's okay because we did one of these last time, and I know what I did wrong. Okay. And I can fix it this time. So
you learned from your mistake.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then social studies, she doesn't really give out a lot, but I do it sometimes.
So you're saying that math you normally have homework every night, but the other subjects sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okay, because when I looked, I saw that your English homework is getting done, so that's good. Is that because you like English a little more?
My teachers in my 8A classes, they're not my favorite.
Okay.
But the classes are okay. Like, we're learning like a bunch of new things, and it's just hard to keep track of it all.
Okay. But you're getting the homework done. It looks like you're getting all the homework done.
Yeah.
So really it's just math.
Just math.
And it's really probably because you think you just don't like it very much and it's hard and you struggle and you just get home and you're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Right? And so you kind of procrastinate,
the long day at school, you're trying to like chill on the couch.
Right. Okay. So we got to figure out a way. So the timer's a good choice. And I think maybe, do you think you should work on the homework you don't like first? Get it out of the way, you think? Yeah. Or do you think you want to power through the homework you know you can do right away and then save the math for last?
Well, it depends, because sometimes like I don't sometimes I don't understand my math and I need my mom or my brother to help me.
Oh, that's very true. Okay.
But sometimes I understand it all, and it just depends.
And you can get it done. So maybe we should make sure, do the homework. When you get home, you do the homework you know you can get done and you know how to do it, right? After your 15-minute break. And then you wait for somebody to come home and you can have dinner and do whatever sport you're doing that day, and then work on your math after with a parent or your brother.
Yeah, what if I don't have homework that day? Like what if I have a bunch of math homework and I don't have social and I don't have science homework?
That's a good point.
And I don't understand my math at all.
There are options. Have you tried Khan Academy?
I tried it. I need to sign up for my mom needs to help me sign up for an account.
Okay, so you can look at Khan Academy. Normally, if you look at your homework problem and you go back a page or two, is there an example that can help you?
Yeah, but sometimes that doesn't help. And I back up my notes, and I kind of don't understand my notes as much as I did in class.
As much as you think you did?
Yeah, I just guess.
What about calling a friend? Could you call
I
a
do
friend?
that. They just take a long time to answer me.
Yeah, because they want to chat, huh? Okay, so that's not a good option. Okay.
No.
So I hear about the math problem, and I hear that you feel that what are you going to do if you don't understand and nobody's home to help you? That's a good question. You're just probably going to have to wait. Does that happen a lot?
Sometimes. It depends on like what we're learning in math right now. Like, right now, I'm doing pretty like the subject that we're learning right now is it's okay.
Okay.
It's pretty easy. It's just converting percentages to fractions, which is pretty easy. It's just a little confusing sometimes if there's decimals involved. It gets a little confusing, but it's pretty straightforward.
So what about? It sounds like depending on the chapter. Sometimes you struggle with the chapter. Sometimes you don't struggle. Okay. So maybe what you can do is write down the problems. Write them out the way you're supposed to write them out, right? And get it all ready for when somebody gets home to help you. Okay. And then maybe at some point you can do a couple of them. Maybe there's some that are easier and you can go back and do the other ones, right? But getting it all set up so that somebody just can come in and look and have everything laid out and say, okay, I need help with this one. Normally, do you need help with all of them or do you need help with getting going, getting started?
Certain ones and getting started mostly. Just like certain ones. I'm kind of not motivated to do my homework. I don't like it. I don't want to do it.
Well, a lot of people feel that way, right?
Yeah.
Homework is not a fun thing. It's not something everybody wants to do, but you have to remember you have to do it so that you can do better the next day. If you don't understand the material, does she give you a lot of math homework? Like a lot every night? Like how long does it normally take you on an average day to do your math homework?
It's supposed to take us 10 minutes a subject, but like I heard my teacher talking to the principal in class, because there's teacher people coming in and observing the school, and so it's supposed to be 10 minutes per class.
Okay.
But in math, it usually takes me like an hour to do my homework, maybe more. Sometimes half an hour to an hour.
So maybe you need to get a tutor. Maybe we need to find you a little more help. Maybe we should talk to your mom about that. But the other question is, I know your mom told me that you have ADHD and you take medication for that. Mm-hmm. And you know that medicine wears off eventually.
Yes.
So the later it takes you to do your homework, the more you're probably struggling with it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good idea to work on our math earlier, right? If you can, if you understand it, because you're more focused and can get it, before your medicine wears off. So let's put that down too, right? After our break, maybe we should start on our math homework because that's what we're going to struggle if we understand it, right? So we'll get the math homework out, we'll get it all set up, and then if we don't understand it, then we'll move on to something else until our parents come home or your brother gets home, right? Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about with math? Do you think this is something using the timer? Do you think that's going to help? Because I think that's going to be a lot better use than sitting on the couch for 2 hours watching TV and talking to your friends and playing with your puppy before your parents get home, right?
Yeah.
And then you can relax more after. You're probably tired after you go to your sports.
Yeah, after my sports. Sometimes sometimes if I do get home and I start my homework right away, I still sometimes don't have enough time to finish it all up, and I still have to do it after.
That makes sense because sometimes your practices are earlier, right?
Yeah, and even if I have 2 days, sometimes I have a lot of homework in those 2 subjects I have that day, and sometimes I have some in PE. I never have any in careers, but sometimes I have it in PE, and I have 3 or 4 subjects to deal with in one day before the next day works.
That's a lot. So you feel a little overwhelmed when that happens on those days.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
get it all done before the day starts and comes around. But sometimes I just forget about it. And it just gets back in the back of my mind, and then the next day I see it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do that, and I just get missed points for it because I didn't remember to do it and I didn't do it.
Okay, so do you write your homework down every day?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whole nother, that might be something we need to discuss next time, is how to make sure you write down all your homework, you have somewhere where you look at it to make sure you get it all done, because forgetting to do your homework is a whole different thing than trying to get your homework done. If you know you have homework and you're trying to get it done and that's a problem, that's what we're going to use the timer and the Khan Academy, the math help to try to get through that stuff. But as far as let's write that down, that you want to discuss maybe next session, how to remember to do your homework, certain homework, right? Because you forget, sometimes you forget you even have homework, or you think you did it and then the next day you freak out. It must not be a fun feeling being in class and not having your homework done, right? How does that make you feel?
It's kind of embarrassed because she talks a little loud and like everyone. Like,
Here's you. She calls you out, huh? And says, Ashlyn, why didn't you do your homework?
Yeah.
All right, so let's try the timer this time and the tools we put in place, and then we'll get back together maybe in 2 weeks and discuss how that all went. All right. Awesome.
Thank you.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, okay?
Okay.
All right.